Your research is stuck, isn't it? I bet you have a couple brick wall ancestors that you're working on. I know I do. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to find new and updated collections at the major genealogy databases to see if we can get our research moving forward in the right direction. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm Lisa, genealogy researcher and author. Now this YouTube channel is dedicated to helping you find your ancestors, grow your family tree, but not get overwhelmed in the process. So if you're struggling to find your ancestors, you're in the right place. An important genealogy research habit is to go back and recheck on a regular basis genealogy databases for updates into their collections. Now for most of that's going to mean going back and checking digitized collection to see what has newly been digitized and added to a database. If we do not regularly check for updates or new collections added, we run the risk of missing out on an important collection that could be holding the clue for our ancestors. But first things first, schedule on your calendars when you will perform these checks of the databases. The easiest thing to do is to check and recheck those databases for new records on the first of the month. Or maybe you do the first of every other month. Really, the timing isn't as important as the fact that you actually do the check. Let's take a look at how to find these new and updated collections on the major genealogy databases. Now first let's take a look at Family Search and how to find the new record collections they have added. Each week you will find a blog post on the Family Search blog that details the new records that have been added to their collections. It's quite easy to find. I'm going to turn my camera around so that you can see my laptop, and I'm going to show you and walk you through how to find that blog post and how to find the newly added collections. Welcome everyone over to my desktop. We are going to be looking at where to find those new genealogy records that the 4 big databases put out so that you can be sure that you are checking back periodically at those new records that might be out that could be beneficial to your research. So the first site we'll check is Family Search over at familysearch.org. And again, I'll have all of the links to this in the show note or in the description below the video. Family Search announces their new collections updates in their what they call their newsroom. And you can see here, for instance, that they have a listing that they put out this week. It's the new historical records, and they're obviously free, which makes them very nice to use, for the week of April 6, 2020. And just the short little blurb tells us they have over 13 million New York land records, U.S. obituaries, the AMA physician records. It's an interesting collection. If we click through, what we find obviously is that these are international. We'll get the whole little blurb up at the top that tells us the types of records and the locations. These are both the U.S. as well as international records. And this is where I start. I just start and kind of peek at that to see what has been released, what might pertain to my research. One of the things I notice down here is that there are some North Carolina records that have been updated or added, and I would probably go and pursue those. I would drop down to the big table. Let's see what we can find from a North Carolina standpoint. And what it tells me down here is that the Center for Health Statistics, the vital records have been, they've added their indexed records to an existing collection. So it looks like this has been updated a bit. So that would be something, because I researched so much in North Carolina, that I would absolutely add to my to-do list to check out further. Now I do recommend that you subscribe to their blog. You'll be notified when new posts are added. And I recommend their blog posts on all the topics are absolutely fantastic. Now, if you are anxiously awaiting for new record collections to become available, new collections to be digitized so that we can start breaking down some brick walls, hit that like button and let me know that I am not the only one who is impatiently waiting for some new databases to come out. At MyHeritage, they publish a blog post monthly with their new record collections that they have added. You'll want to bookmark or subscribe to the blog to stay updated. Now, once again, I'm going to turn my screen around and show you step by step how to find the MyHeritage blog with those blog posts of updated databases. We'll hop over to the MyHeritage blog, which is where they will announce their new records. Typically, it seems when I went through this, I'm seeing that about once a month maybe, but this is the latest one that they did. They released a large number, as you can see, 850 million records back in February, right around the time of Roots Tech. Large collection. And part of that collection is actually US-based city directories. So a good place to look. They will have that blog post, and then they will have them listed out here with links to those collections for you to look at. These are, of course, international records as well, and it looks like they've done a really good, have a wide cross-section. They have the US city directories. They have historical patents, which is an international set. There's Canadian newspapers. So they have a large, they've done quite a bit with what they've put out. So US and world records too. Now, like Family Search and MyHeritage, Find My Past also post their new and updated databases on their blog. They post these each Friday in Find My Past Fridays series of posts. So let's head over to Find My Past and I'll show you how to find it. Over at Find My Past, every Friday they do put out a new post about what their latest releases are. It's called What's New. So it's actually part of the Find My Past blog, and it's under the category of What's New. And I love this, guys. It shows up in my inbox, as well as I can check it on the website to see what are the new records that have come out. So you can simply click through to, and they will have a blog post about what has been released. And as you can see, in April, they did a huge release with English and Welsh electoral registers. So that's a big deal if you are researching ancestors in those areas. They've also done some newspaper updates and releases as well. So check these periodically and make sure you're staying up to date with the latest records that you can research. Now, I will have links to these blog posts that I've mentioned in the description below so that you'll be able to find them easily as well. Now, on Ancestry, it's a little bit different, but it's quite easy to find their new and updated databases. You can actually find the link right on their homepages. So let's take a look at the Ancestry.com homepage. Here we are over on the Ancestry homepage, and I want to show you really quickly how to find those new and updated collections that Ancestry.com does put out. It's really quite easy. You want to go from your homepage, look to the right, and you want to scroll down on that toolbar, down to Tools and Resources, and here you have New and Updated Collections is the second one down. So if we click through there, it takes us over again to this recently added and updated collections. And it is quite a variety. And I do check this periodically, obviously. But just to take a quick look at what we have, I have mine set to the United States because that's the majority of my research, but you can certainly set it to all countries. And then you can narrow it down even further to whatever specific country you might be looking for. So just taking a quick glance, what we see, we have some Mississippi records here. We have U.S. Virgin Islands, Virginia, birth registers. We have, of course, the 1950 census. We have some English records as well. West Sussex records all the way down. Keep going down. Here's some for Brazil. So you can see there's quite a lot of records that they are continuing to add as new, as you can see, or updated, and they'll indicate what's been updated there. I love that they put the date here because I can obviously know kind of if I'm just looking to say I want to see what went new in May, then I only need to look at those May dates, and I know kind of where I stopped and what I needed to look at. Now, one thing I make note of is the coming soon here to the right, because I want to see what's coming up. So for instance, maybe I'm working on a World War I veteran ancestor. And so I can see what's coming up. Oh, look, I didn't even realize. Discovering more about World War I ancestor, North Carolina is included. I research a lot in North Carolina. So I know I can put that kind of in general. I know that that's coming up in the fall. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to search right now. If I know that more records are coming available, maybe I'll go ahead and spend my time this summer working on something else until I have a little bit more to work with next fall. So I do just take a quick look there to see what's coming and keep note of that. There you have how to find those new and updated collections over at Ancestry.com. If you want to learn more about successful genealogy research, Watch the video on your screen now. What your genealogy research is missing. You'll learn how to create a genealogy research plan so you're not going to be overwhelmed when you're researching for your ancestors.